So I was subscribed to this guy's channel, and it was all about like Russian life, and I thought that it was interesting, you know. And there were other channels similar to hers, and it was pretty much how crappy it is here in Russia. Right? Look at our stores. This is the worst stuff like that. Um, Sort of woe is me. I'm broke. But the one guy, Dan, how do you pronounce it? Um, Shikos. Um, he makes like $500,000 on YouTube, but like tells people he's just the average day Russian. And okay, so my point is this: is that the average IQ is 100. Okay, and have you ever talked to anybody with an average IQ? Not real smart. That's not a good thing if somebody says, "Well, you're average." Oh, gee, thanks. Okay, so there's a lot of people. There's a lot of I don't know. It seems like females. My hands are dirty. I was working in the garden. Um, it's mostly like female names. It could be troll. I don't know, but they're like, I fell in love with Dan and Susie and their baby, and you're the meanest person, rudest person I've ever seen. Stuff like that. You know, he's just talking about how expensive it is right now, and so are all the other channels. So I looked at some of the other channels that are similar, and you betcha, very similar. They're all about the sanctions. Now, why do you think that that is? Because they're being told to put out this stuff about the sanctions. They don't have a choice. And yes, Dan might not really have a choice, but he sort of does. In other words, like, he could just, I don't feel good, I can't put one out, I feel sick. Or, like, he doesn't have to put it out. He could actually go get a job. He doesn't have a job. His job is, making $500,000 off of YouTube a year. And I don't know, I'm sure he has to pay taxes, gives a portion of that to Putin. That's how it is. Lives in a totalitarian state. They don't have a choice, but it's hard for me to, I feel for the Russian people. I do. I would hate to live in that country. There's a lot of countries that I'd hate to live in. Afghanistan, Iran. I'd hate to have like MBS, like, you got to deal with MBS. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're lucky we live in the United States of America. It's true. We have freedom of speech. He doesn't have it. And there's what, like 18,000 people that have been arrested lately in Russia over, somebody just holding up a tiny sign. Well, that's against the law now. There's no type of protest about this war. You can't even say war, because if you say war, you're going to get arrested. So all the other Russian channels, they have to do the same thing. It's all about the sanctions, our gas prices, our heating prices. The food is so, Iran is a weird country. I was there for a few weeks. I bet. We're lucky. We're lucky. I wouldn't want to live in Turkey. Sorry, He's not such a great guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Erdogan? No. No, I don't want to live there either. The Philippines? No thanks. No thanks. We live in a great country. We're lucky. We really are. Say what you want about this country, but there's a lot of people that want to come here and live for a reason. It's the greatest country in the world. So it seems like all the Russian channels are saying the same thing. I'm going to talk to the average person. What do you think that would mean if you lived in a totalitarian, I can't speak. You had a dictator telling you what to do. You're going to do it, right? Do you think that it's a coincidence that like I'll do videos about this guy, but I've done videos on other stuff too since the war broke out. They don't have that option. They don't. They do not have that option. They're being told what to put out. So somebody's saying like, it could just be Russian trolls. But we don't know who they are. They're sort of somebody named, it's an American name, sort of. I'm the rudest, meanest guy that, he doesn't like the government at all. Listen, he's in a country where he's not free to say what he wants to say, okay? And he makes a real good living. He don't want to lose that real good living, that's for sure, right? He's putting out propaganda. And he's living in a country where you can't even get the proper news. I feel sorry for the Russian people, but on the same hand, I don't, because I'm like, well, you dug your grave, now you lie in it. That's how it is. You dug the grave, now you lie in it. And that's how it is. They voted Putin into office, right? Now, you could say, well, we had Trump. Thank God, we got rid of him, because he's very similar to Putin. And, it would have been a bad thing. It would have been a real bad thing. But they did. They voted Putin into office, but they were coming out of, like, let's see, they had Gorbachev, they had, the other guy, Putin. They're coming out of, would you want to go back to being the former Soviet Union? I remember back in the, 70s or 80s, it was a big thing for them to get, Levi jeans. Seriously, if you went over there, take Levi's with you. That was a big deal. You get a pair of Levi's, you take them over there, it's worth a fortune. You want to go back to that? Because that's the way it's going. It is. It's going back to that, Russia. And to be perfectly honest, the only Russians that can see this stuff right now on YouTube are the elite, like Dan and other people that are doing what they're supposed to do. They're falling in line. You're not supposed to. Dan said on Instagram, yeah, my VPN is still alive. He's not allowed to have a VPN, so why is he announcing it? See, it's all a big scam. So he's been scamming y'all. Y'all have been sending him stuff. He's been making $500,000 a year. And that's how it is with TV, YouTube. You don't know me. You have no idea. I'm a be a miserable bastard. I could be. See what I'm saying? But I'm not pretending not to be a miserable bastard. So there you go. Do you see me go, oh, hello. This is Dan. Hello, adorables. It's the phoniest crap I've ever seen. Oh, I'm learning English. Sorry for my terrible English. But he speaks fluent English the whole time he's had the channel. It's phony as shit. But, like I said, the average IQ is about 100. And people just get sucked into this shit. It's like, I would watch his channel. I thought it was interesting, but on the same time, when I was watching, I was going, man, I wonder what the logistics are of him having a YouTube channel in Russia with Putin as president. You can't just say whatever you want. And clearly, all he was doing was, let's show, it's propaganda. Let's show everybody how tough everything is in Russia, and how we don't have the best products and stuff like that, and the place that when he first started doing his videos, it was this dilapidated apartment building that they supposedly lived in, and we're fixing this up, and well, where'd you get the money to buy the dilapidated apartment that was actually very big? And where'd you get the money to fix that up? And, there was this BS about, he's a yoga teacher, but nobody ever saw him teaching yoga. It's just it's all just a made-up story. It's a made-up story. That's the way it appears. And the clone channels that are very similar to this, it boggles my mind that every one of them is doing sort of the same thing. Like, you know, they all said the same thing, same videos right in line with Dan's. It started about the 26th. That's when Dan put out his video, how to keep in touch with me, said on the 26th, you know, because things can happen and, you know, we could get, you know, blocked and all this stuff. On the 26th, he was saying that. He already knew. You know why? Because he's in the know. He works for the government. You work for, you're a journalist in that country. You work for the government. Hang on, I want to talk to somebody in my chat. Hillsby, so the COVID, you have COVID and it really makes you feel bad, huh? You feel like shit? How many days has it been? Come on back. Come on. We have a thing in this country called CB radios, and that's how we communicate. So sometimes I might start talking in CB language. Come on right back here, Hillsby. You got the rubber ducky here. I took the trash bins out and I could hardly catch my breath. No shit. Is that right? Hillsby, you're young too, aren't you? Like you're under 40, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You can barely catch your breath, and you're fully vaccinated. See, I don't want that shit. That's why I'm still wearing a mask and using hand sanitizer. No way am I sitting in a restaurant next to a bunch of freaks. It's been about 4 or 5 days. You're under 40, right? You're young, right? 4 or 5 days, takes out the trash and is hard to catch your breath. You're only 43. And you're not overweight or anything like that, and it's still like it's kicking your ass, right? You'll be all right. They didn't do the antiviral thing with you? They just did the 2 things? Let me do some more CB talk. Come on back, Hillsby. Come on. That's Big 10-4. What's your 10-20? You got the rubber ducky here. Come on. What's your 10-20? You know, I heard Trump, our ex-President Trump, has a CB radio and he talks on it, and he's called he calls himself, you got the dirty diaper baby here. That's what he calls himself. I'm so sick of people who I damn well know could not pass high school algebra telling me it's just a cold. Is that what they're saying? It's fucking right-wing shit. I know everybody has right-wing friends. No other things but D3 and Pred, huh? Communism wore a disguise of liberal for decades? Dude, that doesn't even make sense. You sound like an idiot. What are you talking about, man? You gotta go. Hey, Australia, what's up? Australia, you got CB radios down there. You got the. Come on back, koala bear. You know what a CB radio is down there in Australia? Sit. I'm going to the store. I got my 10-20 is at the grocery store. I'm picking up a fucking bucket of Vegemite. Come on back right now. You know what a CB radio is, right? They got truckers down there, Mad Max and all that, right? You got koala bears and, you know, what else? Go to the store, they have duck-billed platypus instead of like actual ducks. You can eat those. All kinds of stuff. But you got CB radios, right? Tell me yes or no. We really got to know. I don't think any. I don't know, man. They said if it gets bad, to just go to the hospital. It's not hospital bad, but it's giving me a weird ass symptoms. Yep. When I was sick that spring that it came here, that's how I was. I was like, this is weird, man. It came and then I was sick and then it went away a little bit and then I got sick again. I have hypoglycemia. My blood sugar drops crazy fast now. Are you eating? Gotta eat, Hillsby. I know you don't feel like eating. Eat something. Or you could eat some cereal. Just take a bite. Maybe oatmeal or cream of wheat or something. All right, UK, you got CB radios over there in the UK? Do you? You got the Beetle Man here? What kind of weird that I never... It's kind of weird I never cut. Constantly. Oh, okay, so you are eating. That they will post again. That's my theory, that they'll post again. They're only posting probably once a week or something. And it'll be about the same shit. It won't be like a normal thing. I don't think. Sure do. Come on back right here. Truckers in the UK, in the UK and Australia, I don't know if it was a big thing, but here in like the late 70s, the 70s, like trucker movies were real big. Sam Peckinpah was kind of on the outs in Hollywood, and he was doing a lot of the trucker movies because nobody would hire him because they thought he was crazy, which he was crazy. 10-4 Rubber Duck, yeah, there you go. Peckinpah was crazy, and he just sort of like lost it. And he sort of lost it. He had a brilliance, but he had a brilliance like I remember like watching what was that, Straw Dogs? Is that what? Where they're like in this little English town, and you see this recurring thing of like that guy that has to save the damsel in distress in his early movies, shit like that. Not as popular, but still CB out there. I come on back right now here. That's right. Now in the UK, like we have some people called hillbillies. Do they have hillbillies in the UK? And what are they called? You know what a hillbilly is? I think you do. Like a redneck? What do you all call a redneck or a hillbilly in the UK? And if Australia's still there, do you have a name for a redneck or a hillbilly? Is there such a thing? I'm a hillbilly. I bet you are, dude, because you admit it. I don't want to be a hillbilly, and I have a fake tooth, and when I lose the tooth, I flip out, so I can't lose this tooth. You're a hippie. That's what you call a hippie. Is like, that's not a hillbilly. We got hippies here. That really? That doesn't even make sense. I'm gonna have to check with PL. It's really a life of self-reliance. Oh, I see. Yeah, but you are on the internet, so you're kind of sucked into the man, aren't you? Self-reliance. I mean, well, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, what are you making? You making moonshine? Are you a tramp? I see. Okay, I think I've heard that in movies. Right. Do you make moonshine and stuff? Well, okay, country bumpkins, sure. I haven't heard that term in a long time. My mom would use, that's a term that was here too, but I think they're called boogans? No shit. All right. Okay, I believe you. It's real hokey fucking shit are those, you ever see those TV shows on moonshining? God, that's crap. That is the fakest shit of it. That's as fake as Dan from Russia. That's even more fake. It is. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh look, nobody gives a shit if you're making moonshine. I'm sure that they don't want you to make it and you can't sell it, but nobody's like, there ain't no revenuers looking for you. Peter, did you see the Terminator Arnold's post to the Russian people watching? No, I didn't. But I'll tell you what, it's interesting you brought up Arnold because I saw Arnold in a car commercial where he plays Zeus and he was fucking awesome. Did you see that? Have you seen that? I was just like, what the fuck am I looking at? And then he's got some, I don't know, he's got, what's that one actress name? Tia Carrera, I think, is in the passenger seat, maybe? Something like that. Like she's playing something too, but he's playing fucking Zeus or something. I don't even know how they make it anymore. What, Moonshine? Boy, I want to go see Arnold's tweet because I'm sure, but I don't know if anybody's seeing it. There aren't very many, the right Russians aren't seeing it. Right? Hey, Arnold was from, came from Germany, He might have been from the Eastern Bloc. Hillbillies grow the best smoke, too. I don't know anything about that. Well, he's awesome in his video Twitter post. I will go look at Arnold's Twitter post. I'll do it right now. How about that? I'm interested in Arnold. I always like him playing a robot. You saw on Reddit today. It was awesome. Hope it gets shared. I'm just telling you, Arnold, listen, I haven't seen this video yet, but Arnold is in a car commercial. It's a new car commercial. He plays Zeus. It was like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was like, did you direct that, Arnold? Like, it was like that, and he's a director. Like, it was like when I stopped watching the damn thing, I was like, boy, is there any chance that Arnold's coming up in a movie where he plays Zeus? Because if he did, I would go watch it. Because he looked awesome. Hang on. I like Arnold. If Arnold's conservative, but I would have had no problem with him being the last president. I can tell. There would have been no problems. The man has morals. He'll do the right thing. I wish it was a Marvel thing that he was. I wish. I'd like to see him playing Zeus. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Twitter. The Twitter machine. Okay, Arnold. I might even follow Arnold. It's trending. Okay, here we go. Oh, hang on. I want to see I want to see the video. I don't want to read about this, but hang on. I just want to watch the fucking thing. Come on, man. Okay, come on, man. All right. Why don't I have any sound here?
Healthy, your world is more vibrant than ever.
Oh,
it's why we craft our high-quality immune supplements by pairing vitamins and minerals with real food and earth.
I don't want to hear that. Let's go. Come on, I want to hear Arnold. Come on, man. Just let me hear Arnold, damn it. That's not Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger video. Okay, here we go. Love that man. He's a great robot. Yes. He's born in 1961.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for sharing your time with me.
He's older than me. What? He's a lot older than me. What do you mean? How could he be born in 1961? Hang on. Come on.
I'm sending this message through various different channels to reach my dear Russian friends and the Russian soldiers serving in Ukraine. I'm speaking to you today because there are things that are going on in the world that are being kept from you. Terrible things that you should know about. But before I talk about the harsh realities, let me just tell you about the Russian who became my hero. In 1961, when I was 14 years old, a very good friend of mine invited me to come to Vienna to watch the World Weightlifting Championships. I was in the audience when Yuri Petrovich Vlasov won the World Championship title, becoming the first human being to lift 200 kilograms over his head. Somehow a friend of mine got me backstage. All of a sudden there I was, a 14-year-old boy standing in front of the strongest man in the world. I couldn't believe it. He reached out to shake my hand. I mean, I still had a boy's hand. He had this powerful man's hand that swallowed mine, but he was kind, and he smiled at me. I would never forget that day. Never. I went home and I put his photo above my bed to inspire me when I started lifting weights. My father told me to take down that picture and to find a German or an Austrian hero. He got really angry and we argued back and forth. He didn't like Russians because of his experience in the Second World War. You see, he was injured at Leningrad, where the Nazi army that he was part of did vicious harm to the great city and to its brave people. But I did not take the photograph down, no, because it didn't matter to me what flag Yuri Vlasov carried. My connections to Russia didn't stop there, by the way. Oh, it actually deepened when I traveled there with bodybuilding and for my movies and met all my Russian fans. And on one of those trips, I remember, I met Yuri Vlasov once again. It was in Moscow during the filming of Red Heat, which was the first American movie allowed to film in Red Square. Now, he and I spent the whole day together. He was so thoughtful, so kind, and so smart, and, of course, very giving. He gave me this beautiful blue coffee cup, and ever since then I've been drinking my coffee out of every morning.
What? Why did it stall? Come on, stop talking about the coffee cup, Arnold.
Now, the reason why I'm telling you all of those things is that ever since I was 14 years old, I've had nothing but affections and respect for the people of Russia. The strength and the heart of the Russian people have always inspired me. And that is why I hope that you will let me tell you the truth about the war in Ukraine and what is happening there. No one likes to hear something critical of the government. I understand that. But as a longtime friend of the Russian people, I hope that you will hear what I have to say. And may I remind you that I speak with the same heartfelt concern as I spoke to the American people when there was an attempted insurrection on January 6th last year, when a wild crowd was storming the US Capitol, trying to overthrow our government. You see, there are moments like this that are so wrong, and then we have to speak up. This is exactly the same with your government. I know that your government has told you that this is a war to denazify Ukraine. Denazify Ukraine? This is not true. Ukraine is a country with a Jewish president, I might add, whose father's three brothers were all murdered by the Nazis. You see, Ukraine did not start this war. Neither did nationalists or Nazis. Those in power in the Kremlin started this war.
It's the Pred, isn't it?
This is not the Russian people's war. No. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, what you should know is that 141 nations at the UN voted that Russia was the aggressor and called for it to remove its troops immediately. Only 4 countries in the entire world voted with Russia. That is a fact. See, the world has turned against Russia because of its actions in Ukraine. Whole city blocks have been flattened by Russian artillery and bombs, including a children's hospital and a maternity hospital. 3 million Ukrainian refugees, mainly women, children, and elderly, fled their country, and many more are trying to seek to get out. It is a humanitarian crisis. Because of its brutality, Russia is now isolated from the society of nations. You're also not being told the truth about the consequences of this war on Russia itself. I regret to tell you that thousands of Russian soldiers that have been killed. They've been caught between the
7,000
Ukrainians
so
fighting
far.
for their homeland
7.
and the Russian leadership fighting for conquest.
Putin don't
Massive
care.
amounts of Russian equipment have been destroyed or abandoned. The destruction that Russian bombs are raining down upon innocent civilians has so outraged the world that the strongest global economic sanctions ever taken have been imposed on your country. Those who don't deserve it on both sides of the war will suffer. The Russian government has lied not only to the citizens, but to its soldiers. Some of the soldiers were told they were going to fight Nazis. Some were told that the Ukrainian people would greet them like heroes. And some were told that they were simply going on exercise. They didn't even know that they were going into war. And some were told that they were there to protect ethnic Russians in Ukraine. None of this is true. The fact is that Russian soldiers have faced fierce resistance from the Ukrainians who want to protect their families and their country. When I see babies being pulled out of ruins, I think that I'm watching a documentary about the horrors of the Second World War, not the news of the day.
Dresden.
And let me tell you, when my father arrived in Leningrad, he was all pumped up on the lies of his government. When he left Leningrad, he was broken, physically and mentally. He lived the rest of his life in pain. Pain from a broken back, pain from the shrapnel that always reminded him of these terrible years, and pain from the guilt that he felt. To the Russian soldiers listening to this broadcast, you already know much of the truth that I've been speaking. You've seen it with your own eyes. I don't want you to be broken like my father. This is not the war to defend Russia that your grandfathers or your great-grandfathers fought. This is an illegal war. Your lives, your limbs, your futures are being sacrificed for a senseless war condemned by the entire world. Now, to those in power in the Kremlin, let me just ask you, why would you sacrifice this young man for your own ambitions? To the soldiers who are listening to this, remember that 11 million Russians have family connections to Ukraine. So every bullet you shoot a brother or a sister. Every bomb or every shell that falls is falling not on an enemy, but on a school, or a hospital, or a home.
Sick.
I know that the Russian people are not aware of such things are happening. So I urge the Russian people and the Russian soldiers in Ukraine to understand the propaganda and the disinformation that you are being told. I ask you to help me spread the truth. Let your fellow Russians know the human catastrophe that is happening in Ukraine. And to President Putin, I say, you started this war. You're leading this war. You can stop this war. Now, let me close with a message to all of the Russians who have been protesting on the streets against the invasion of Ukraine. The world has seen your bravery. We know that you have suffered the consequences of your courage. You have been arrested, you have been jailed, and you have been beaten. You are my new heroes. You have the strength
They are
of
brave
Yuri
as shit.
Petrovich Vlasov. You have the true heart of Russia. My dear Russian friends, may God bless you all.
Could you imagine being in Russia and going and protesting?
Amir, for Summer of
You
Soul,
know, I
you had
mean,
never
my
directed a
God,
film before.
that's balls of steel. Just women just getting arrested. It's fucking unbelievable. It really is. It's so sad. It's a bummer, man. I feel for the Russian people, but I also, like, on the same hand, I'm just like, some of them get it, and they're like, fuck it. If they all just sort of like, they can't just all go in a mass because there's people that think that Putin's great for some reason. Like, what? Talk about brainwashed. God. There's a bunch of children. There's a lot of children that have just died needlessly. Just, you know, I think they bombed 175 hospitals. Like, 175, and several of those were just demolished. Yeah, that's right. It was like mass hysteria. The same reason that normal German people followed Hitler. It's mass hysteria. They just, you know, it's fear. They, you know, I'm so glad we got Trump out of office. That could have happened to us. January 6th, that was perpetrated by him. His people. God. What kind of president was that guy? People just voted for him because they liked his show? Or they liked his racist crap? Or they thought, he's rich? Maybe I'll get rich if he, you know? That guy spent so much of our money, wasted so much of our country's money. It was just unbelievable. Wasted money in a self-serving way, too. Like putting Louis DeJoy as Postmaster General. And then having Louis DeJoy take out the sorting machines so that people that voted by mail, their vote wouldn't get in on time and shit. How did that make sense? Those things are millions of dollars a piece, and they would just be out there in the parking lot, just destroyed. You can't put them back. They're like totally screwed up, thrown in the parking lot. Millions of dollars a piece. Just so people's votes wouldn't get in. They could disqualify the votes because they would be late. Please, there's people in my neighborhood that have flags up. That Brandon flag and fuck you Trump or fuck you Biden and stuff. It's unbelievable. I don't know what, you know, I can't explain anything to them. There's no sense. I like them. I like the people. But you can't, they keep listening to Fox. They're never gonna, you know, you can't get them to stop watching Fox. What do? You say, if you have a conversation with them, they do whataboutism. They start talking about, like, I don't know, Pizzagate, which was, you know, what was that? They think Pizzagate was real and shit. Still to this day, they probably think it's real. There's so much stuff that was perpetrated by Russia. Like that Ellen video. God. That's just unbelievable. Like, and then the right-wing media just, you know, are, you know, they just start throwing it around. You know, I don't know, man. It's pretty fucked up. I can't do that. Probably go to sleep, I guess. That's what separates us from them. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I wish I had pudding. I do. I wish I had pudding for some reason. Nothing really sounds good. I got a steak in the freezer, but it's frozen. That doesn't really sound good. Maybe I'll cook that tomorrow or something. My stomach was so screwed up earlier today. I was like thinking I had to go to the hospital. I laid on my left-hand side. That's how I got my stomach better. Because I was remembering something that a Taiwanese friend, she told me. She said, we were talking about, she's younger, you know, she's probably, how old is Lisa? Probably 30 now. But she had acid reflux real bad at a young age. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you know, you can do one of two things. You can, like, lie tilted up, that helps, or lie on your left-hand side. That's what she said. She's right. You lie on your left-hand side, and the acid reflux, it's like, it goes away. So you got to sleep on your left-hand side. So I lied down. I was like, I had Pepto-Bismol here. I drank that. It didn't make any difference. I was walking around like it was up high. So I was like, this is some kind of acid thing or something. My stomach. And then I went to Dollar General and got liquid, you know, antacid. I had some of that. And then I came up here and I was laying down. I'm like, man, this isn't really getting better. You know, I got to work. I got to do something. So I was thinking about that conversation with Lisa, and I was like, I'm going to lay on my left-hand side because I'd done it before. And it did. It totally worked. How can this be dead already? Really? That's bullshit. I just bought this. It's like a pump. I don't know. I was sitting next to the window. Maybe the battery got cold. Cold will destroy batteries. Cold is not good for a battery. I don't know. I guess I'll charge it and see if I can charge it back up. Wish there was something I could watch on TV. I don't know, man. It's got one of these doohickeys. I guess we'll try and charge it because it's deader than a doornail. The doornail's dead. Maybe that's it. No, that's not it. Maybe this would work though. This is to a little flying machine. Let's see. That fits. I hate to have to. I was freaking out. I was trying to fix something. I needed a pump. I bought a bike pump. It didn't work. I don't know. It's not doing anything. I keep it plugged in, I guess. Let's see if it does something. Oh, maybe this is it. Hang on. I'm a hacker. I'm practically a hacker. No, that's not it. Try this again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why are we even here, you know? It's no shit. Why are we on this planet? I have no fucking idea. You know, we could certainly be on this planet, but not have to know about existence. Life would be easier if you were just like a dog or something. You know, it's just real basic. I gotta go. Anyway, those Russian channels, they're all doing the same shit. I know that they sort of have to, but do they really have to? Couldn't they just be like me, like, oh man, I'm really sick? They could lie. Or, you know, it's all, oh, woe is me. I don't know. Alright, I'll see y'all. Bye. Dan and Susie. Oh, I love them. I fell in love with them. Please.